What is going on, everybody? Today we are going to be breaking down my vlog rig. This is the rig that I make all of my YouTube videos on. Everything that you've seen in the past 6 months has been using this equipment. And so I wanted to completely break this down, build it up, tell you what I'm using, because honestly, I think that this is the best value vlogging rig you can get today. Some of these options are maybe not the cheapest, but they are the best value without sacrificing too much quality. So let's check it out. There are going to be links down below for everything on this kit. They are Amazon affiliate links, so if you want to pick any of this up, hit the link below. It helps support me at no cost to you. So if you want to support a small channel, links below. Okay, so let's start things off with the camera body itself. I have the Canon EOS RP. This is a $900 full frame Canon camera, uses the RF system. I think this is the best value camera on the market today. If you want to know more about why I think that, hit the link up top or link down below to check out the full review of this that I posted last week. But I think this is an amazing, amazing camera. Go check out that video so you can learn more. But I use the Canon EOS RP. It's served my purposes great, and that's my main camera body. Now attached to it are these little red dongles. These are anchor clips. These are from Peak Design. They allow me so that I don't have it with me, but these allow me so I can attach a camera strap. Peak Design has their quick detach system because I don't like having one on all the time, but it does come in handy. So I need something that's quick on and off. Not necessary, but I do like having them on my camera at all times. From the camera body itself, because I have a Canon RP with the RF system, and RF glass right now is very expensive, I'm going with the adapter option. So this is actually the Canon control ring adapter. Now, I think this fits my needs perfectly because I wanted the full control ring functionality. Some people don't like it. I have it set to ISO, so personally I use it quite a bit, but this is not necessary as far as the control ring function. The Canon straight adapter is about $100, which is half the cost of this, and it works great. I also have a third-party option that costs about $50. So for a better value, you might want to get that option, but for me, I wanted the control ring adapter option. So I went with that. I was willing to spend a few extra dollars to get that little bump in usability. Now, this adapter almost never leaves my camera because all of my lenses are EF. And for vlogging specifically, I use this lens. This is the Canon EF 17-40 f4L. This is a super old L lens, but it is incredibly small, incredibly light. I believe it's the lightest L lens on the market, and it works really well. 17-40 is a great focal range, especially for vlogging. There is the tried and true 16-35 or RF now 15-35. For a 1 or 2 millimeter difference, I went with this and saved a ton of money because I got this lens for about $500. Which is an incredible deal. If you want to spend the extra money and get the 16-35, you might get some image stabilization if you go with the f4 version, but it wasn't a big enough need for me to want to upgrade and spend that extra cash. Now, attached to this lens on the end, I do use a UV filter. I don't use this for any other purpose other than it then water seals this lens. This is just an Amazon Basics UV filter. The quality is fine. I don't have any issues with it. I'm not seeing any issues in my photos or videos. It's great. And this L lens does have waterproofing, but in order to take the true full effect of it, you did have to add a UV filter. So that's the only reason I have it. On my Sigma 24-70, this is a water sealed lens. I don't put a UV filter on it because it's not necessary. Attached to this lens, I use a variable ND filter. This is from Freewell. It is the 2 to 5 stop. It has a nice magnetic lens cap, which is pretty convenient. Now, this is not the Polar Pro variable ND. That is something that I would love to upgrade to someday, but this filter only cost about $100. And compared to the $250 of the Polar Pro filter, I thought this was gonna be a much better value. I did a ton of research on it. I encourage you to do the same. Do your research on these filters. I found that the Freewell one out of the budget options was the best out there. The Polar Pro one is still widely favored, but this option, frankly, fit my needs perfectly. And like I said, it is 2 to 5 stop. They do have a 6 to 9 stop, but I've never really felt the need to bump that high. It just hasn't come up yet. But for $100, you can literally buy both of them for the same cost as one Polar Pro. So that's an option for you. So now we've got the camera completely built. Now we just need to attach audio. And for that, I have this Movo Pro shotgun microphone. This is probably the cheapest microphone on Amazon. It cost about $40 at the time of purchase. Frankly, I recommend spending the extra $20 and getting the Rode Video Micro. I think the audio quality on this mic sounds great. I have no complaints on the audio quality, but just a couple minor issues. There is a headphone jack in the back, but you can't monitor audio while you're recording. And for whatever reason, it is a right angle coming out of the microphone for the cable, but it's straight out of the camera. So when I have my flip screen out, it impedes a good chunk of the screen. It's not a big issue, but I can't replace this cable. For whatever reason, this connection here, it looks like a TRRS, and I've tried to buy TRS and TRRS cables. I've tried probably 6 cables from Amazon to replace this one, including one Movo sent me. None of them worked. So I don't like it. It's a usability thing that, in my opinion, I don't know why they chose this straight out of the camera. It's minor, but it is annoying, and I kind of wish I just spent a couple extra dollars and went with Rode. They have a few more usability options, and their cable is coiled. My cable, if you can see it, is just wrapped around the base because I didn't want all that extra cable sticking out. So I think the Rode might be better, but this is a great value if you are really conscious of how much you're spending on your full vlogging rig. If you want to, you could just be done. Be done right here. You've got about $900 into the camera body, $200 into the adapter, $500 into the lens, $100 in the filter, and let's just say $50 in the microphone. Pretty budget option compared to some of the alternatives out there, especially if you see people rocking the R5 with the 15 to 35. The R5 body is more than my entire rig. I think the 15 to 35 lens is more than my entire rig. But I didn't want to stop there. I knew that I wanted a tripod system. And I didn't want to just keep screwing it on and off tripods. I wanted to make sure I had an ArcaSwiss plate on the bottom because it just makes everything so much easier. Now, I do have a handful of ArcaSwiss plates laying around. However, I choose to use the Peak Design capture clip system, and I have another one of those anchor clips on this plate, so that way I have all of the mounting options for their slings. Now, this plate, in my opinion, is not only the best looking, but it's the most functional because it locks in there. They use an Allen key for the bottom of it, which is really the only complaint that most people have, and I'll have a video out soon on why that's not a big deal at all. But it's just this tiny, tiny little plate that gives you full, quick, on and off ArcaSwiss compatibility, and it's compatible with their capture clip, which in my opinion is a must-have if you're doing photography, where it just clips in, you can hang it on a backpack, pops right off, and it is incredibly secure. I walked around Tennessee with this clipped on just like this. My kid in my arm who was hitting my camera, it never fell out. It's an amazing, amazing system. And finally, you need a tripod. Like I said, you can hold it out like this with the 17 to 40. It works, and I have done it quite often. For a lot of vlogging scenarios, I like to have a tripod, and my tripod of choice is going to be the SwitchPod. I love this tripod. I've owned cheaper GorillaPods in the past. There are other small tabletop tripod options on the market, but after doing my research, this one fit the bill perfectly. and I love it. So you can see I've got the switch pod itself. I included the switch pod ball head. I think this is a must have. And I also threw on an ArcaSwiss plate. It comes with a little rubber circle plate. Just take that off, throw on an ArcaSwiss compatible clamp, and then you have quick access to throw your camera on, and it is stable, not going anywhere. A couple optional things that I did, and I'll do another video on this shortly, but real quick, I attached, you can see with a couple magnets, an Allen key there, because I need that for my Peak Design plate. It's small, it's out of the way, it's stuck to my tripod. It's a great way to always have an Allen key. Cody Warner actually gave the world of YouTube this idea, throwing magnets into the feet to make sure that it doesn't just flop open on you. I also keep a bongo tie here at all times, and then obviously the ArcaSwiss plate makes it so my camera is easy on and easy off whenever I need it. And then I can just set it down and start recording. So that is my entire vlogging setup from start to finish. I'll have the total for what everything ran down below, but I think this is probably the best value system if you're looking to get into the mirrorless line for content creation that you can possibly get. I did a ton of research on it. There are some areas where, yeah, you could save a few extra dollars. Maybe you don't want to do a variable ND. Maybe you want to get a cheaper shotgun mic. Maybe you want to get a cheaper tripod. This is not the cheapest on the market, but I do think it's the best value, and it's going to serve your purposes the best. And that's why I went with this option. And that's why I have this entire setup the way that it is. It fits my needs. It's something that I can work with for a very long time. And frankly, I enjoy using it. I enjoy everything about this system. I would love to have a better aperture lens. I would love it to have image stabilization, but it's not necessary. There are a couple small usability things like this cable that bugs me about the microphone, but again, it's not enough of a problem for me to want to spend the extra money right now. This setup is perfect for my needs, and I love it. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button down below. Subscribe for a lot more content. You're going to see a lot more video and photography content coming to my channel, as well as the fitness side. And remember, we're just all in progress. Sometimes you got to look for the best value first. Have a great day.